Addiction thinks in circles, whereas invention thinks in spirals.
Yes. Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
love it. And spiral is not one dot, it's actually one seed becoming bigger and bigger and bigger
Mhm.
and bigger and bigger and bigger.
So I'm grateful for that. And then two, just the pain just reminding me like this body is so amazing.
Where else can you go
Hmm.
other than inside? And
Hmm.
when you're so almost like forced to face yourself, you find lots of love. This to be on the record. Take it light, laugh and fun,
Yeah, we're
and
talking
put up
about
the Christmas tree.
how Melitza is taking it too serious, putting up a tree.
Ho- Keeping it up for 5 months out of 12.
Yeah.
I'm going to shorten this year, but yeah, I'm going to keep it up until March 1st.
Do you
I'm
have a real
determined.
tree or a fake tree?
No, you're going to love it. It's going to be right here. Starting next week or next Wednesday. We're going to,
Artificial?
yeah, and it looks very snowy. So it's like has
Yeah,
this
yeah.
white snow and lots of different colors and it changes. It sparkles. I keep it plugged for 5 months, 24/7. It's not going down.
Yeah. So what does it do for you or what? Like let me reframe it. If you never had a tree, someone told you about this tradition, or like, but you have to go and buy a tree and then do all this stuff.
Well, I never bought a tree. I always had a fake one. I
Oh,
cut
someone
it.
gave it to you?
No, you buy it. You go to
I did
Home
buy it.
Depot. You go to Lowe's. You probably have it in Hawaii. And you buy it for $100. You buy a
Yeah.
fake tree. I had this one for 10 years.
Hmm.
It's like putting a puzzle together. Yeah.
Hmm.
Or the Lego.
Isn't it just like three pieces? Click them together
Yes.
and then it's done.
And they plug and then they light up.
Yeah.
It's true.
Uh-huh.
I love how you don't believe it. Okay, wait. So, did you put up a Christmas tree when you were little?
Yes.
And what did you not like about it that much? The
No, it was fine.
process?
It was fine. It was lovely. It was
Okay.
it was cool to we always had to clean up the pine needles and put water in the base. We usually got a real tree.
Oh,
And yeah, it was fun, but it was like it became more about this is the signal that presents are coming.
oh, it
It
was more
became
like,
it became material, yeah.
oh,
And that's
wow.
something that I reject from the holiday tradition is how I mean, that's why they put it up right after Halloween in the stores to get you to like, okay, Christmas shopping, what are we buying?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
With the
like,
music on,
yeah,
engage all your senses.
hmm
It's gorgeous.
it is beautiful, yeah. Um, but we have many other, I mean, there's like infinite forms of beauty to behold in the world, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, how about this? We'll share mine for the next 5 months,
Yeah.
starting next week.
I won't have a choice. I'll let you.
It will be in this space. Will be a great addition to it. And you asked, what does it bring to me? I think it brings ritual and
Yeah,
a form of ritual that has nothing to do with Santa. In all honesty, I didn't grow up thinking a
yeah,
tree will fall from, the tree will just reappear or presents will appear. I grew up with actually having tiny little tree, my own pine trees in the garden. and I would just decorate them. And I didn't have like ornaments growing up that much, so I would buy ornament every year for one, two, how much money we had, and it was just such a intentional craft. And to this day, my doesn't matter who I celebrated with and who I'm with. My tradition is to buy a one new ornament every year with intention for that next year, which is so cool. So last year I got it with my mom. It was so cool to do it. But anyway, I'm not gonna brag about it. You know how I've totally bragged about my Christmas tree. It's beautiful. It's rainbowish. 46, and today is yeah. Okay. These blank pages in the book are it's like I write a lot of things, including the date we did it.
Oh, on the end of it, you have a different book than me.
Are we doing this book? Okay.
I mean, like this space?
Oh no, all over. Right now at the corner.
Hmm. You're like blank pages. I'm like, there's no blank pages.
There's so much blank. You can write.
Call Richard and say, hey, you left too much space, book.
I love
Fill
it.
it.
Have you watched that interview until the end
Which one?
with
Oh, the one
Pam
I sent to
Gregory?
you? I didn't watch. I didn't even start it yet.
I watched it 3 times.
It's so good.
So good.
Tell me about it.
Well, maybe we'll talk when you watch it. It is so crucial and important. And I was thinking as we were going through, I was like, oh my God, by the time the new year ends, we're gonna hit the 55, you and I. And we'll be like, how is this? Of course, question was, how is this possible? And then I stopped questioning. I just allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
46,
Mhm.
flow in a moment. And I just concluded it is not coincidental that we did the
Yeah.
2 year journey on this, that it took us this long, that we literally pounded on this almost like habit that now we can't really live without,
Yeah.
out of which we're growing.
Hmm.
And it's all in preparation. And I was, I feel like I just had this whole body confirmations of a lot of things that I have been feeling and saying, like time is running out for a lot of things. We have to decide, we have to come back in the heart. You will be blown away. So I'm curious to see when you listen what you think about it. So that's very, very important to listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured it was going to echo, the things I've heard from Richard and um, macro astrology, like the big picture view, um, a time of selection and decision and new. We have in February, I think, we have the move into Aries out of Pisces for a couple of the outer planets. So
Saturn and Neptune.
yeah.
You have a lot of books to read. Actually, I was thinking, which one should I recommend you next? Hurry up.
Yeah, I just opened a new one because the uh the strict astrology one, it came to a point at the end of the chapter. It said, if you don't have a good grasp on the planets, the signs, the aspects, and it listed all the things that we went over. And I had to take an honest moment for myself and say, yeah, I'm not quite ready for whatever comes after, which I think is kind of more of the integration. But I've learned a hell of a lot. But then I opened a new book, started reading, and it just wasn't clicking. So I think I'm gonna go back to Bruno. And then I still have Alchemy and Mysticism sitting there. There's quite a few books that are just sitting there that haven't been opened
Oh,
yet.
alchemy, this one?
Yes.
Alchemy, well, this is just a picture for hermetics. It's not astrological.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying like
Oh,
books in general.
oh,
But what's your book recommendation? This is the one I'm gonna read.
I
I'm
got
like
that one too.
I'm two-thirds in, so I'm gonna finish it.
I mean, on astrology, anywhere you can go.
Yeah.
Anywhere you can go. My astrologer opened the academy for next year, which is every Sunday. I think she's gonna have from the beginning all the way until advanced. And this is whatever, how many years already I have. Nothing that you add to the knowledge is a lot extra or excess. It's almost like refreshing is always
Yeah.
good. And it's because it gives you a different, I think, it evolves your understanding of all these bases, right? So
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm glad. Yeah. And
This is
just
you're opening, are you opening the invitation to me?
if you want to come and join, yeah, it's a school. You can also pay. I think you can pay classes or chapters versus the entire academy.
Mm, okay.
But you have to sense if you like her style.
Yeah, if you could send me something so I can check her out.
Yes, I'll send you two. And there's one that it's coming in San Diego next year in April. And I'm actually doing the book club for all his four books, the elements that I sent you. You remember? And
No.
today we're doing the earth sign. It is completely different way of approach. And I think you might even like that more because it's very spiritual in nature. It's almost like fantastical,
Yeah.
but it brings down the spirit into all the elements
Mhm.
and for the higher meaning of everything rather than just being so like material, which is perfect because this key also speaks about the matter and the rigidness of like this is what it is rather than exiting it out, looking at it from a different perspective and seeing the overall picture. His teachings, he's like a fairy.
Who is this?
Stephen Forrest.
Mm.
He's
You
like
like,
a fairy.
see, you like fairies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Pictures of
he's
fairies.
so light and also like very direct in the about the shadows. He's not like sugarcoating anything, but rather than explaining this through stories and poetry, how
Mm.
I take it. So his books are very, very good and they're very detailed. They're he talks about them as this is my legacy. These four books are his legacy. So he's gonna come next year in San Diego here. I'll probably attend his conference. And then I wish I can invite him on the podcast. I'm gonna ask him directly to come. I can talk to him. He's like just but you know how they say, try not to ever meet your
Yeah.
idol. And I'm like,
Well, it's up
maybe I
to
should
you.
skip.
I'm, I've learned, I think, there's a common sayings that are meant to teach you not a principle that is firm, but rather to help you to see a broader perspective and come at it from a different angle, which I think in that saying of like you don't want to meet your idols, it's just teaching you like there's the mirror of what you see can't possibly encapsulate like the holistic nature of who they are.
Mm,
So broaden the possibility that they would one blow you away beyond even what you're already impressed by them, and then two that they have shit and they have difficulties and they get in
they're
arguments.
not perfect.
Yeah. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, sometimes we idolize, and in idolizing, we envy or we wish that we could have something that they have without taking the holistic picture. When really, it's like you probably don't want their life.
Mm. Have that did that ever happen to you to meet your idol and get so disappointed?
Um, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I've had experiences where I've held a fantastical picture of what someone would be like, and meeting them been disappointed.
See, the Stephen explains that exact thing. These archetypes that live in the fantasy world of dreams and then
Hmm.
embodying them like in reality. So these two worlds constantly coinciding of
Hmm.
what we think is perfect, trying to be perfect in imperfect body. That's how he talks, and it's really cool. Just like it does invite the acceptance
Hmm.
of imperfections. But yeah, I met not the idol, just the author. This was a couple years ago with my partner. I actually went on his conference just to meet him in person. And he was one of these authors that talked about the gods, pharaohs, and Egyptian mysticism.
Hmm.
And I went to Sedona to see him. And he it was such a disappointment because he was more, and he was male talking to two young females, and he was just so like, ugh. And it was such a hardcore. And you know what happened? After that, I donated all his books. I was like, I had such a repelled energy from him because he was more like, "Ooh, you want to come on trip with me?" And I was like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" It was just very weird. And but his
Hmm.
teachings were great, and you simply like,
Yeah, I didn't have the
I
energy that you liked.
no, I even left conference
Mm.
earlier, and yeah, I donated his books. Can't even, after that, it's like both of us actually had the same experience, both me and my partner at that time.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
46.
46.
So,
I I love
do
this
you
one.
what do you like about it? What do you love about it?
Mm. Just that it's like far simpler. You and I, especially when dealing with the city, like, sorry to jump, but it's related. But the feeling of ecstasy, you and I both know it. And we tend to create like hoops, ladders, systems that we have to complete this thing, or we have to achieve this level, or I have to purge my shadows if it's spiritual, or I have to do this before I can have that, before I can have
Mm.
that experience. Because that's waiting on the other side. Whatever your goal is, what's waiting on the other side is like ecstatic relief, relaxation, bliss, harmony, peace. And it's so true. Like if you can just remember the feeling in the body, then you can access it. And one thing I love about this gene key is in the shadow gift and city, he's alluding to how it's a physical, like you embody these feelings. You bring it in through how you approach life. And he talks about how the shadow, your brow comes down and it's pinched. It's like you're pinching your life force. It doesn't flow. Um, so yeah, I loved how accessible this is. How and when we open to the idea that we can have it or we can access it. And yeah, I'm excited to dive in.
And did you I agree that it's lighter. I was expecting something more complex.
Me too.
Like give me this to it's simple. But it can't, and I brought this book, this radical acceptance book from Tara Brach. Have you heard of this
Mhm.
one?
Yeah. Well, I know
I've,
her, but yeah.
and I was like, of course I want to see when did I read this and do I remember anything? Of course I don't. Though I highlighted a bunch of things. I was like, what is the acceptance? Right?
Mhm.
So I was like, how do you accept that, life is what it is and don't dwell on it and move on and be in the present?
Mhm.
And I think what he explains here as well is like when we try to control versus let go and just give it, of course you have to have some system in place to say, hey, you don't want to just like be tossed all over in life and say yes to everything, but there's some sort of guidance and compass that is guiding you to take chances in life, and to free flow with them.
Mhm.
So we're able to kind of reconnect to these moments in life when you did take chance versus when you in life were rigid and wanted to control.
Yeah. Well, from the standpoint of ecstasy, it's a clear body, yes, no. Like it's a very clear, like, are you completely heart open, exploding, and then mind is just quiet because it's just being overloaded with endorphins, right? Um, but as we talk about the shadow, it's a little easier to delineate between like, where am I operating or how am I approaching life? And of course, part of the perfection of our path along the gene keys to me is how each week there's some manifestation of the shadow gift in the city that we're talking about in the week that we're doing it. So this past week I've had deep, and of course it's tied in with Mercury retrograde, but deep review of where I've held myself too seriously and where I've actually blocked a lot of flow and a lot of abundance in my life. And specifically, just to share the story, I've helped Carly with her bit. I've actually not helped, but trying to help Carly with her business for the last few years. And I would get so attached to the work. So I would work on a project or develop a marketing thing for her. And then me thinking like me spending 5 hours on it or 10 hours on it and me thinking like, well, I've been like improving it. I've been making these changes. I really think this is good. I tied it in with everything. Like my idea, all of a sudden I'm becoming attached to it so much so that it's a part of me. So when she comes back and has a critique or an opinion or a desire to change it, or maybe this isn't the right direction, I feel hurt. I become defensive. We get in some kind of fight or argument, or, it just causes tension. And then we carry on. Again, that cycle kind of repeats until back in April, she was like, let's just separate her business and my business. And she was like really encouraging me to do my own thing. And one thing that did is it helped me to see more from her perspective, what she's going through, what are the challenges. But also, when we finally came back together about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I we had the same thing happen where I did a project, I sat down, let her review it, and she was like, let's do this, this, and this. And I could feel in my body just like heat, and my neck was tense, and I wanted to like run away or slam the door. I'm like, Eric, she's just talking about this material thing, this project as it isn't you. So why are you like I could see it now. I'm like, why are you attaching to it? And it was it was actually sad to witness myself. It was like once I decided, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be this way. I don't want I want to be successful in business. I want her to be successful. I want our relationship to be successful. It's just me holding on to my attachment to the work itself that's causing so much strife and so much challenge. I don't want this. I'm going to let go of it. And once I decided to let go, it was like the wave of emotion of like remorse because I could see how every time I get in the way, how when I attach to the work, my work doesn't improve. It kind of stays rooted down in this this is part of who I am. How dare you criticize me? I'm keeping it safe, right? And
Mm.
until I open that up and allow it to grow and evolve and change, um, it would just stay there. So that's happened, and in the same time, in review, looking back of being like, wow, I've done this for so long. Shit, like this is just a pattern in our relationship, right? And now I can let go of it, and in letting go of it, I'm like, what's on the other side is play. It's not being serious about it, and it's looking at it from a different lens of if the work itself doesn't matter, like how much time I put into it or effort, then what does matter? What does matter is from a business standpoint, getting results. And then from a relationship standpoint or from a social standpoint is connecting and and listening. It's like all of a sudden my 2 ears were better than my one mouth, right? It's like I was able to flip it. And instantly, well, not instantly, but on the other side of that, someone came in who, with complete alignment, had like, okay, you're right here. We have all these next steps for you, and we have a proven system. We've done this with many, many people, and we're going to help set you up. And I was like, wow, okay. In the past, I would have gotten defensive because this feels like an attack on my system, on my path for Carly, on my structure, my ideas. And with this new openness, I was like, cool, you're gonna help guide us along. It's almost like if we're in a canoe on a river and it's rough, and I packed the boat and I charted out the river and I made the plan. I did, so it's like my attachment. It's like mine, 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 mine. We get halfway down the river, we're like, this is seeming kind of sketchy, or maybe we run into a rock or something, and this guide comes along and you know, she's like, oh yeah, I've been a river guide here for 25 years. Do you want me to go in front of you and guide you down? And I go, no, 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 we got it. That's essentially what I was doing, right? So, um, just currently feeling the delight of this new opening. And with the delight, I have like tears welling up right now,
Mm.
just of like the death of who I was. Yeah. So I love this key. It's fun.
And how do you feel talking about it? Hearing you yourself talk about it.
I've been talking about it a lot. Like I just bring it up with people. I don't know if that's
Oh.
yeah, just like I call my dad and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Um, and I normally don't do that. So I don't know if that's
Mm.
I think it's I'm wanting to make it known for myself. I'm wanting to like encapsulate this moment, crystallize it. Like this is a key moment, a key transition that I made to, and kind of almost like my grandpa died um 2 weeks ago, and it kind of came along this same time, the same like transition where I was starting to notice my old patterns. And I just noted, I'm like, interesting. Full moon in Taurus, second decan, like the gift, like, but you have to open your hands up to receive the gift. And
Mm.
part of that was, hmm, this old system or this rooted structure and this desire to control causing me to remain at this lower level frequency or to return to it over and over again. And until I let go, then I can, experience something more. And so just wanting to like really make it known to my whole system. So I'm telling people, I'm sharing it here. I'm calling my dad and telling him, I'm telling strangers. People are like, "What's new?" And I'm like, "Here you go."
Mm.
But yeah, I don't. Did I answer your question? I didn't, did I?
Well, in many ways, voicing it, it's and openly talking about it is also acknowledging and being almost like it cues your nervous system to acceptance, to the path of acceptance that that's what's happening. But did you just say your grandpa died 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Are you okay? My condolences.
yeah. Thank you. When I heard the news, it was 60% relief and 40%, whatever the complex emotions of grief are. But it was relief because from my naive opinion, I think his life was extended beyond what was reasonable. So that's my
Were you
opinion.
close to him?
Mm, not when people say they're close with their grandparents, like Carly with her grandpa. No, I wasn't particularly close, but I loved him and he was
Mm.
kind to me. He was he was a pilot and he took me flying when I
Mm,
was a kid, and we always went to we ice skated on their pond that they had, and yeah, we had fun memories.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Um, okay.
It's blasting.
I ran out of words. Surprise.
That is
You know,
surprising. Come on, Gemini.
well, sometimes I think this comes in a shock. And what you mentioned earlier, it's like this reactive nature of rigidness or control really comes from somewhere else. Like your story reminds me in many ways of many other stories and my stories as well, of like reacting and not being able to stop the reaction and
Yeah.
cycling in the same exact pattern. Though something in it cycles it and pushes it and forces it to continue. And you some until there's almost like it feels like enough strength and power inside of you of so many trials and errors and failures that you're
Mhm.
just so sick of it, and then there's this like willingness to resolve it, to complete it, to finalize it, to stop it, this force of willingness to not continue that way anymore that almost prevails. And there's this like the tipping point of no more, I'm gonna start building myself up, right?
Mhm.
And I thought about, 2 weeks ago, I also had a moment where I almost exploded in reaction to someone else's energies that was just attacking.
Mhm.
And I attacked back. And it was just an active closure. Everything about me instantly closed. And I became so rigid that I wanted to get out of it. Get out of it. Like, I can't talk to you right now. Like, literally, and I don't talk like that. It's like, I had to calm down because I became into the same pattern, and this pattern is such a familiar pattern between me and my father back in my young age that instantaneously triggers this like again and again and again. And I thought, oh wow, he's no longer on this earth. I no longer have this reaction, but there are other people that will come in, replicate similar pattern in me, my brother, my half brother, for example, in this case, and I would react the same way, if not even worse,
Mhm.
because something inside of me is rigidly holding on to something in the past, and it's all in the mind. So the story almost gets so strong and powerful that all my steps on how to do that and how to process get fogged. I can't see them. So
Mhm.
as I was sitting here, thought disturbed, literally, I was so desperate to regulate because I knew I'm supposed to regulate, like, and not dwell on it so much. Literally, I opened all the books that I read because I forgot everything I read at that very moment in this regulation. And I was like, where are the steps? Oh my God, where are the steps? Do this, breathe in. And I just wanted to control it so much rather than sit in it because, in all honesty, I was pissed that this
Yeah.
occurred at
Mhm.
myself. And that's where how do I accept that I failed? And can I actually accept I failed in reaction? Simple reaction that it maybe give myself an option to really feel that I might be wrong in what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
It's like that is like, how does it feel to accept that, oh my God, I did something wrong or I
Mhm.
said something wrong? This is very hard to do. And I think this is what he talks about. It's so serious when you really look at yourself. It's a serious business. It's like you're so
Mhm.
serious, like absolutely imperfect. By default, we think we're perfect. And, we'll double in effort to make sure I show you how perfect I am, how better I am, how stronger I am,
Mhm.
radical acceptance. And then I opened Tara's book this morning and she talks about these phases exactly. It's like, you know, you blame others, then you compare yourself to others, then you want to double the effort to show that you're much better than what they thought you are. All
Yeah.
in the meantime, while all this seriousness is just like piling up on this self acceptance and imperfection of being human and, boo booing. like an option for us to boo-boo by default, give an option to boo-boo in life and
Mm.
poo-poo things. So
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you mentioned like having the moment to decide and having the force of will to change, to accept it and change. And instead of it being like an explosive, like, oh, I just want to change this about myself. It was like it was imploding. It was just like an internal, like the the picture of who I was dying, and it was a matter of going inward to allow that to shed, like the skin had to shed off. I had to go inward enough that the skin could just fall away, like uh, like it was being magnetized. It's magnetized to like the energy of the emotion itself. And you mentioned so the stage of doubling the effort, doubling the work, and how intense the emotion is while you're like, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna make it known. Like I'm gonna make it happen. And it's just like the opposite of what brings in the perfect circumstance. And when he mentioned the rainmaker, I thought that story was gonna go somewhere else because I've heard it from a different perspective, but the same story. Um, it was interesting to me how it was like, no, he's just attuning to places that he knows are gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Like he's attuned to nature. I'm like, oh, you can only get that when you've shed this outer layer of your own attachment to how it's supposed to look or your attachment to the work itself. You go where it is easiest. You go where you'll find the light, where people will resonate with you. And instead of saying, I'm going to change the world, you have a different perspective. Mm.
Yeah. And you mentioned something earlier. I want to add to that. It's like my coach always talks about explicit and implicit processing. And you said you go inward because something inside of you activates. And this implicit, I understood recently actually that specific meaning. I gave it a different approach. When explicit memory or instance happens, then you know that it's happening in the present moment. You're able to differentiate it in your mind, in your rationality, and you're able to, like almost like reflect or react to it in the present moment. And when implicit memory uploads, it actually is the memory from the past that makes you feel it's happening again now, but it's stuck somewhere there back in the past. And it's this like feeling of rage comes not because you have any reason to rage in the present moment, but rather than something inside reactivated again that makes us feel the same exact feeling that we had back in the past. And this like research, almost like who wants to sit there and kind of dive into this rabbit hole of labyrinth to get to where is this coming from? And it's interesting because it's very to get to the ecstasy, how I think of it. I can't just I play with this a lot. It's like, is it sometimes it works to find the way to love through the areas that I know soothe me in a sensible, pleasurable way. Like to get to love and life force energy, I look to art. I look to something else that I can regulate my body with. Like often that initiates the states good enough and relaxed in my nervous system for me to get to the levels of ecstasy. But I always wonder is actually, can I sustain them in a long run without paying attention to what just happened a minute ago? Or, something that is still operating in my subconscious without me actually trying to find the root. So I thought this morning, I can't wait for 2027. And I'm like, I hope this heavy pulling back, shadowy thing is just going to be, as he explains, just like poof, poof in the air. And, it's silly to do that and silly to laugh at it. But this exact thought brings me to lighten up the load of seriousness that I want to get to this. I really want to get to this. I'm serious about getting in the states of creation. And then, but I also have serious business to do with whatever that it's operating. It's like I'm stretched in between the two. I can attain it, I can sustain it because of this guy.
Hmm.
And when I think about exact that thing, it's like, oh, but wait a minute. What if this is an option that everything that I think of is, can I just like, whatever. I won't be able to actually genetically even think of it anymore or feel it. And all of these heavy things are going to be just pulled underneath it. And I'm going to sit and even that is not letting me be in a moment and free flowy. And I find that catch 22 often. I fall for the trap all the time.
Mm. Yeah. Is that why you listen to it 3 times, or they're related?
N- Oh, that I listened to it 3 times because I had this like a lot of confirmations. There's usually a
Mm.
domino effect when I hear something that resonates so deeply and almost reinstates this inner deep core feeling that it's yet to be manifested into the world. Inner deep, like no matter what unknown, no matter what fear, no matter what I'm trying to hold, that actually this inner feeling is allowing me to loosen up a lot and just let it rearrange.
Yeah. It's like the flower blossoming within you, but it has, you know, it needs space to grow. So you have to you have to purge a little bit first or during that process.
I just laugh. I mean, do you get to moments where you just laugh at yourself because you're kind of a little bit ridiculous for being too serious?
Um, yeah, yeah. Thinking of I mean, very specifically this last Sunday, the start of the week when we're doing this Gene Key,
Mhm.
and the message that kept coming through when we were dancing was like, everyone's too serious, you're too serious, you just gotta play, just make it fun, keep it light. Um, and seriousness has different manifestations, different forms. Because
For you?
yeah, like it's not just the face of like, achievement or stoicism. It's also the questing, questioning, desirous, like that can be very serious too. Desire itself, like when you think of delight and you pair it with desire, it's like kind of a weird relationship because delight usually comes after the satisfaction of desire or somewhere during that process. And maybe desire has its own shadows and gifts, right? Because there can be like the desire of the thing that you want so bad and it causes you to be so serious, or it can be you just you know what's coming, you have a desire for it, and you're also able to let go as much as possible and still hold that desire. And then it's like having the delight in that moment in the play. Yeah, I don't know. How do you think about how
And
does desire relate?
you're talking about sexual desire, or you're talking about desire for anything in life, for any achievement.
Anything, but like usually desire shows up strongest with money, sex, and freedom, maybe. Yeah. So for you, how does your relationship with desire play a role or relate to delight, to the ecstasy?
I don't really know anymore what I want.
Oh, good.
It's like I just have a knowing that something will happen. And I'll give you the example. Back in the day, like with my partner, I always had this sense, and I would always tell her, and I would always go back a couple years ago, and we'll be fine. Like, no matter what, we will always have something, the money, the shelter, the food. We will be totally fine. And all explanations after that would stop.
Hmm.
Whether you have a job, I don't, you have, I have it, you don't. It's like whether we move or relocate or go elsewhere, it doesn't, we'll be fine. And something about it was always almost like confirmation for both of us. Because we, like, of course, in life, you change, things happen. And nowadays, things happen more unplanned, in unplanned and unexpected way. Our entire system is actually threatened nonstop. Last night I had dream, and this was the first dream that I had this feeling in my body, as I almost felt like I was in my physical body aware of what was happening as I was sleeping and laying down in the bed. My system was activated. I had this instant thought of driving and getting head on crash or right. And then I would just like tense and tense. And then I would have a talk in front of someone or some other past people. And instantaneous moment of connection or reaction or some sort of impact kind of I didn't feel in my dreams and imagination. I felt it on a physical body. And I was like, wow. And I was aware in the dream that I'm feeling this in my physical realm, not in a dream realm. And that was so weird. It was just like I've never experienced it that way. And it was just these moments, as if something just, or as if like it was actually physically happening elsewhere, right? In some other lines of life, if possible, right? So while I was sleeping, I was just living 7 other lives and doing that exact moment. It was just really weird. But the knowing, I think the desire is not really, I am somehow unable to grasp it in a structure that it's practical in the 3D anymore. Rather than I have this sense of what is going to happen, and I just have to find a way to get it, to get to that point. Right. So it as if it's no longer my pre-planned desire. Right. Do that make sense? It's like I don't really want to acquire things any longer. I want to experience them. And it happens for some things, not for everything, but it happens, for example, for this transition in life as I map out what is going to happen. I'm not mapping what I'm going to become or where I'm going to end up with. I'm mapping possibilities of my
Hmm.
journey to get to whatever I need to go to. And that whatever I need to go to is not the desire anymore. It's not the acquirement. It's not the goal. It's not the end point, as if I no longer have the end points. That's how, but it's hard because you mentioned it's very like, in coaching, we spent a good couple sessions just mapping clarity of the desire, what it is that you want. And it's the hardest thing, true. It's the hardest thing to do. To
Yeah.
put you, and you look at social media marketing campaigns, and everybody else is saying you have to be very clear how much money you want. You almost have a checklist point of what you need to hit. And I'm like, yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting away from it even more and more as I grow older.
Mhm.
But it does help to feel beauty of beingness that I found only one tunnel that I can actually enter into that space, which is through art and music and any type of left brain I mean right head brain experience is like I can relax so much in the realm of beauty to
Yeah.
loosen up a little bit because this like logical structure practical it's like tense it's tensing me up so much I'm freezing.
Yeah.
It's not because I don't know. Do I need to sit there and think, is it because of the trauma? I mean, I didn't get here for where I am right now in life. It's always how I think, just because I was frozen, but rather than I was able to loosen up and trust the life to take me somewhere. But the more tension we feel from the outside world, I think we're feeling it more inside. There will be the escape plan is to go into the right hand hemisphere of the brain
Hmm. Yeah.
and desire nothing other than just experience,
Hmm.
which is blank canvas and Oof, 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 oof.
Yeah.
Brushing the paint manically.
Yeah, when I worked with Dunya, we spent the first 2 or 3 sessions nailing the desire, and I was like, oh my God, what is it took me so long. I felt like what is it? But I finally came to I was like, oh, I want to be more comfortable with the unknown or stepping into the unknown or knowing less, just in general. It was such a just that nailing down that desire for me was a shift because I didn't know that's what I wanted, but essentially I'm like, oh yeah, all the fear and constriction and the things I'm trying to get away from happen because I think I have a plan. I think I know what's going to happen. Um, like just control, and that's what I don't want. Is I want to ultimately I want growth for myself, and then that can emanate out into the world or the universe. And in order to get that, I have to step into the unknown more and more and more.
Mm.
And that's to me like that's still a very strong desire of this. And maybe it's me being younger than you. Maybe that will fade too. Because you see that as also it's like you're still reaching for something when that's part of the unknown is just to sit in who you are and where you are and how you're feeling. But yeah, it's really I was reflecting before we talked today. I'm like, I don't even have to look back at our old talks. I can just feel how much has changed. I can just feel if I feel back to like Gene Key 6, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful that I'm not in that body anymore. Um, and for you too, like I sense quite a lot of growth in these 2 years. One thing I had clear as day for me was the repressive nature, the frigid, the frozen. I had it physically. I would always get my neck locked up, like it kept happening. I'm like, "Hi." I'm like, "Yeah, we can do the talk today." And I'm just like stuck. I just can't move. Uh,
Mm.
and also accessing the realm of the heart has opened up so much. And as you said, music, poetry, dance, things that are right brain, things that are non-linear, I think are very important. I think this will help to carry some of us into the realm of, wow, look how everything is coming together. Look how beautiful things are synchronizing. And I'm curious to watch the Richard and uh, the astrologer talk because I'm like I've heard this framing of new earth, old earth, and then I've heard this like more esoteric view of it of simply a choice point of are you going to live this way or this way and the way and after hearing you talk about right brained and non-linear activities, I think that could help be a catalyst for like the people that are able to utilize those tools in a way like music, poetry, dance, even literature to an extent. And then the people that are hyper technological, very linear, very still haves and have-nots, still very like looking at the world in a structured form.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the delineation between New Earth and Old Earth. And then I've also heard like, no, it's going to be a clear, like there will be a separation and some people will disappear. Like I don't know, a big unknown, big unknown. And I'm not asking you to tell me. so that I know.
Kind of want to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay.
No, no, but I'm opening that door. Like, please let me know. What are your thoughts or what's been passed to you?
You're
Oh,
gonna
breakfast.
laugh. Oh, a
Thank you guys.
breakfast. Hi, baby.
Want to see baby Spider-Man?
Oh, another baby. Oh, Anna. Hi.
Hey, we're gonna do our podcast. I'll be out in an hour.
Let me kiss.
Can you send a kiss? Thank you guys.
Should we
Okay.
move it to an hour earlier? It'd be like 3 a.m. waking up and talking. Like,
Well, they feel my
thing is,
energy. So I'm up. I'm reading the Gene Keys. I'm like, oh yeah, ecstasy, delight, and then I hear them wake up. I'm like, okay.
practicality. Um, yeah, so I don't know how to interpret it. I think,
That's your answer? Come on.
okay, I'm collecting all the information,
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
put it the sentence that makes sense. And I think it reminded me of imagine if you are standing in front. The fool, the first card in tarot is
Mhm.
fool.
Yes.
And the fool, when you read the meaning of it, it's almost like you must be a fool to enter into something that you don't even know and step forward in front of this space that you don't even know it has the bottom. And I always think of it like, what makes you be a fool? Such a fool, which is very innocent, very pure, very free, very childish. What makes you be a fool to step into the part of life that you don't know where will it take you? So in 2027, how they talk about is this year of almost like a blank, almost like a white space that nobody knows. And both of them agree that they don't, no person actually knows what comes from there.
Mhm.
So the next year is pivotal to almost set yourself up and devote yourself to either this or this, either left or right brain, and devote yourself almost to come back to it no matter what. Come back to it no matter what. So, and I thought, oh my God, if this is the time that it's running out, and there is just 1 year left to
Mm.
prepare, and then I look backwards, what got me to this point? This was all preparation.
Yeah.
If you really, this is the sense that I'm talking about. It's almost like I'm not logically understanding how did we get to this point, but even this, even Osho, even us meeting, even all of that was preparation. And you look at 2 years almost, not only did we come back to it, but the life somehow led back to love and heart, led back to love and heart. Everything out of that created was almost, a friend of mine the other day was saying, yeah, a couple of days ago, was like, I just looked at your website and I just looked at your Instagram page and you have it all set up. And I was like, I don't even know how this happened, but I trusted I'm going to come with this. I trusted I'm going to keep coming back to this and I keep coming back to it. And out of which something was created. And I'm like, I never planned,
Yeah.
not even a color of it. But rather than I keep coming back to this and checking in to say, what is the truth in my heart? Like, how does this truth feel? And this is where I think we're gonna be almost asked. But let me just rephrase. I have so many thoughts right now going on in my head.
Choose one.
How do you, you know, what would you trust more? Is the big question. What you know, what you see, what you can hold on to, or what you don't know. Of course, if you don't know how to lean into the unknown,
Yeah.
if you don't have this sense, if you don't know how this feels like, if you cannot recall the moments when you just trusted it blindly, foolishly, it's going to be really hard to not go into a certain certainty, practicality of what you know of in life because you're going to grip on that, what you see, what you created, what you identified with, even identifying with, I'm here for a life. Everybody has a life purpose, but to be established or realized as this and that is like so rigid in nature. rather than you ask me what I want to do in life. Like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, actually.
Mhm.
I actually don't know what is happening. And I choose not to. If I can, as long as I can, what happens if I don't choose what I want rather than if I allow it to happen?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
It sounds so idiotic too in many cases. It's like I catch myself thinking, it's like, oh, sure.
mhm.
Like everything can just crumble. That's the fact. How comfortable I am to lose everything that I have built so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine if you're legitimately offered that opportunity, then it would be a crisis. Like, it wouldn't be sure, go into it. But I think that's part of the learning that we're stepping into. And part of the acceleration is like, can you let go of this now? Can you let go of this now? Can you let go of this now? Preparing us for the
Yeah.
moment so that it's not complete crisis, so that it's an easy,
Freeze.
an easier handle. Yeah. And you mentioned purpose too, and I love the Gene Keys approach to that word of like you have a sphere and you have a shadow gift and city, and then you essentially you're just bringing the energy, you're deciding on the energy. And for you have the gift of versatility. It's so perfect.
Oh, on a life work.
For your purpose on the bottom, 16.
Oh, oh, I see, I see. Purpose
Mhm.
in his
On the
holographic profile.
profile. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to add something. Oh, can I add this? It's itching me on my
Mhm.
tongue on the top of it. You
Just
good?
a
You gotta go?
second. No, you're good. I have a child who's banging. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and add.
There are like the paths to God. Okay, let me rephrase it in a simple format, as simple as possible. To feel love, I almost go backwards in the way, right? Because it's a very Piscean thing to do. We go from big down and shrink down into the practicality of it on the earth, right? To feel love, that it's almost like higher than yourself, your sense of higher self, your sense of vastness, universal force, and everything that you can be in this tiny little body. It's like we always have to have this. Okay, let me speak just as I rather than we or them. Whenever I felt love that was higher force than I was in a personality of my ego or a separate self, small, limited, I had a sense of connection with something much bigger than me. And that sense of connection was, we can call it the God, the creator, the higher consciousness, Christ, whatever. And then from there, I was able to slowly step down on the ladder and be like, okay, well, I have this connection, let me create, which is easier. I almost feel like we feast or eat with gods, Pisces, and I'm able to trying really hard to bring this in my physical body and practicality of life, 3D, the needs, the traumas and stuff like that. To have the create connection with the God really helps me have connection with the other. So what makes me accept the other is the sense that I accept me and that I'm very limited in this mind and that I am almost not a it's not a victim, but I'm a product of what I think. I don't know how to control everything. I am not I sometimes I make mistakes, sometimes I am right. But who says that I will always be that way? I might change. So it's a constant chaos in the life, in the mind, that I'm really having a hard time to hold on to. And I think because of that, I'm because of the higher connection that I have with a sense of some other power that it's bigger and more powerful than I am in this body, I'm able to let go of these things faster. In reverse order, when we're so rigid in our life and we're trying to control everything, I think in AA meetings, for example, like I read and it says the way to let go of addictive tendencies, which is to hold and grab onto something, the only way to it is to reestablish that connection with the higher power.
Hmm.
And it's almost like from the 3D to 5D. It's like it's this like merge to almost climb up the ladder with the steps of loving self, loving the other, loving the world, loving the plants, loving the dogs, and loving something higher, and kind of getting this concept of understanding that the higher power is above your control rather than you controlling your life and destroying everybody else around it, right? So it's almost like we have no control over. So I am doing the reverse order of already feeling it, having such a hard time coming into to control anything in life. And in
Hmm.
this case, by 2027, why I say this, because how do you know what to choose? How do you know what to choose that it's not by default of, whatever, at the moment, in the moment? How do you know what to choose? How do you know what is true? Because everybody, in their sense of mind, believes, knows, rationalize that everything that they do is actually the truth for themselves. So when you sit on the collective level this way and you're thinking, oh, the split will happen, like, how do you know what is your path? How do you know what is, you will know what your path is, but how do you know what the right path is and what tells the right path to be defined as the right for everybody else? So who am I to judge, right? So it's almost like, but I got to what I have right now. Somehow I brought this sense of vastness. Why would I give it up? Because it's my natural tendency. I can go to the practicality and the right-handedness of life. I can go to the logic. Nothing makes sense to me other than what I feel. And this feeling comes from 5D. And I am really failing to do it in a practicality of the 3D life. Is that wrong? I just
Yeah.
said a bunch of things that might not even make sense of the reason why.
Yeah. No, it it sparked something for me, which is this idea that what we're facing is a deeper connection. And it's like in order to connect to a strong signal, you have to have a certain capacity to receive and to integrate and to work with it. And so I have this view that there are those that can handle it and there are those that cannot. And it doesn't make it right or wrong, either path. It doesn't make one better than the other. It's just it's just what is. And it's like a it's like a frequency capability decision point. The frequency is occurring, like it's ramping up, it's going to be strong. And for those that can handle it, it'll change everything. For those that can't handle it, they will have to give something up or or exit or be done or escape because it's yeah, it's just I'm viewing it from that perspective of maybe it's not linear. It's like a I don't know.
Mm.
But again, it's like, if you in your body are saying it's too much, who am I to judge and say, you just need to meditate more, you just need to let go, you just need to do this? It's like, I don't know. I don't know what you're experiencing. And if it is too much, then it's too much. Similar to the process of facilitating the death process. It's like if you want to stay, then you can stay. If this is too painful, then and you can let go, then you should let go. Kind of navigating difficult waters. And in a lot of ways, this is like a transformational period or a coming death. It's like we're in the waiting room and we'll see who decides to stick it out and who decides to go. And I don't know how it will manifest. In my head, I have this idea like this push for transhumanism of like it starts with Neuralink, their implanted devices, and then over time, the way I see it playing out is we start to replace more and more of what it means to be human. And Elon has said this back when Neuralink was started. He's like, it makes the most sense to start with kind of deactivating the reptilian part of our brains, which I don't remember what it's actually called right now, but it's just the part that's desirous, most in control of like hunger, lust, greed, like which from a technological or a linear view of the world causes most of the problems. So if we can put a
Hmm.
like control mechanism on that, then we would be freed up to do other things, to have more capacity to be of service to the world, whatever that means. But I think that's just the start, and I think it goes down more and more. And if if like solar energy is increasing and the intensity of you feel the planet alignments or like the retrogrades are so strong, everyone has deep sensitivity to it, and people that are not willing to play in the energy or to know how to purge it or to live in the right brain and let go of that piece, I think it will lead a subset of the population into more and more transhumanism, which is just you're that's the shedding, right? It's like you're shedding humanity, like you're choosing instead to become technological. And isn't it interesting too, like the non-spiritual prophecies talk about this age, usually it's like 2030, 2031 of the singularity. Do you know what the
The singular
singularity?
intelligence.
Yeah, it's just like where we develop AI and then it just exponentially goes until um, you can
Hmm.
imagine like if it's exponential increase in intelligence, maybe there will be this the way they see singularity is just like consciousness will merge and then poof. But it's interesting like calling 2027 like just white space, just blank. That's the other side of this other technological view of what singularity is. It's just like there's nothing on the other end.
Eerie, right?
Hmm?
Eerie, right?
Say that again.
Eerie, like
Eerie. Oh yeah. Just
eerie.
eerie. Interesting. Yeah, eerie is a good word. Curious.
Hmm.
So many ideas of the mind, and I go back to this gene key. It's like, how do I find delight? Connection to something higher is really key. Lately, more and more music, I'm like, oh my God, it's just so powerful. I can just connect. And it used to be like I would have to guide myself into that space or like have the right circumstances. But now it's like I can just have it on and hear a single line and just instantly feel connected. magical.
Yeah. Simple pleasures. I don't know. Got me
I
in a
spun you
deep,
around.
no, this like nothingness. And do you gotta go?
No, my kids keep opening the door, so I just want to close it.
Um, this like n nothingness or no need for mind anymore.
Hmm.
Imagine mind is already freaked out of a present moment. Imagine mind not having anything else to control. What a freak out will that be for the mind if the body is not another tool to use or the heart is unknown to how to use it? It's like we all have it, but he's saying it's like it's all there. You just have to be open to it. But
Yeah.
what the hell does that mean? Right? It's almost like how how do you open yourself up when you are stuck in your mind? And
Mm.
I like to always think about it as like I can self-analyze. I can, of course, be aware of where am I happy, in what environment do I feel inspired, what lights me up with some sort of energy. How do I feel transmission of something? It can be the rain. Yesterday I stayed home. It was raining here in LA. It was so cozy and warm. And I felt like a layer of blanket coming and I was so happy in my space. And I looked around. I was like, oh my God, I'm touched. I'm
Hmm.
touched now. I'm not, yesterday I wasn't. Same space, same rain. But today in this moment, I'm touched. And then I touched the plants and I was just like tuning into this frequency, like you said, the frequency of it. It's like coming to awareness. They explained this in the video. It's like as the super intelligence accelerates, so will our consciousness accelerate as well, which means that we're gonna not have the sense of dealing with it in the future because there's no future. It's unknown. We cannot go. It's as if you're hitting the wall and it's hard stop. But our intelligence almost like goes in the same exact speed and of rising into these different frequencies, right? And I don't know of any other frequency other than when I'm touched by something so powerful that stops my mind
Yeah.
from thinking rather than it brings me back into this exhale relaxation of wow, wow, wow. I just feel all of this.
Yeah.
And like you said, the music is kind of brings back the memories, but also activates a lot. These like artistic, beautified way of expressing the depth of humanness.
Mhm.
And if I am coding what to program my body with, that just is very scary to me. It's like, why would we want to feel less, right?
Well,
Unless.
yeah, I'm like, is it wrong for me to have empathy for this? I'm like, I have empathy for those that it feels overwhelming.
For those whose brain is biologically firing in terrors, which is almost like what, 90% or 99%, maybe it's
Yeah.
even mine, they were not
Yeah,
aware of, but
or people that are being altered by pharmaceuticals. It's like you don't have, that's the majority of the population in the US too. It's
yeah,
like 66% are taking some kind of mental health pharmaceutical drug. And it's like you can't even go there. Like this doesn't make sense. Like what we're talking about doesn't make any sense because it's on some level it's turned off or it's altered.
yeah.
So, I have empathy for those because it is overwhelming. Like I've seen it with some family members already, but it's just gonna, if it's increasing, it's like, I get it. I get why you feel that way. Tremendously difficult to navigate.
And also, yeah, which also you're programmed in your childhood to fire a specific way.
Yeah.
And if your parents didn't deal with their own shame or fears or terrors. They literally just plop it onto you,
Yeah.
innocent,
Mhm.
like not even protected way of mushiness of life. And then you learn how to do that, and your brain fires, like literally fires in the
Mhm.
way that brings the anxiety, brings this
Aries
disordering disease.
fire.
Huh?
I was just thinking about the fire of Aries, or there's a big shift here in February. The brain on fire.
When are you
Nothing
gonna
is
do
done.
my chart?
What's that?
When are you gonna do my chart?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
It's been
I don't
two
know
months.
that.
I'm counting.
2 months? No.
You've been studying it for 2 months. Just kidding.
Hmm. I'll take a look. I feel I can give it a
No
shot.
rush.
I
No
don't know.
rush. I got
Literally,
another reading.
literally, you're
Yes.
rushing me.
Oh, no pressure, Aries. How does it feel? Now, now, now. I love it. You will when the time comes. But do you, okay, last question. And then, you can dismiss me. Do you feel a sense of preparation for what's to come? That you're undergoing current and you have been undergoing some sort of preparation for what's to come?
Mm, I'm feeling transformation, and the temptation is there to ascribe it to everyone's saying that this is coming. It's hard because I find myself bouncing back still, and this wants to be so skeptical. This is like, ah. um, and so I come at it from that angle of it's like confirmation bias. It's like, oh, of course it's hard, and we're being transformed, and because we're being prepared for it. And I'm skeptical of that narrative, but just in answering like the present moment, what's occurring, it's like there's transformation occurring, and it's cascading out into the realms of my life, and I'm feeling more and more connected to my heart. For what purpose? I can't possibly know. If it's to
Mm.
prepare me for this change, then it will occur. Whether I'm aware of that preparation or not, it doesn't really matter. It's like
Mm.
he says here, it's funny that our English word for matter is tied into the expression it matters or it doesn't matter because this is exactly what the gift of delight is based on. An inherent understanding that nothing really matters except life and love. Therefore, at a higher frequency, the codon ring of matter might also be known as the ring of no matter. No matter your circumstances, you can accept and recognize them as being a part of grace. And once you accept it, you have more energy available for being delighted. And that's ultimate, like that's what I want to experience is laughter, play, love, connection,
That's your desire?
beauty, joy. Yes. I desire I desire this feeling of delight because it emanates and it feels so good. It's just like it just feels so good.
How dare you to desire? We're supposed to not know what we're doing. Wait, I'm just kidding. I love that he mentioned that life and love as the two ingredients, like for what matters. And oh boy, do we have definitions of what the good
Yeah,
life
life love.
is or a good love is. It's like we're filled with and we're filled with understanding of it.
Right.
But the
It's
same thing gets
the
so
experience. Mhm.
ex gets so when you get triggered, you know, if you sit and you desire to have this blissful life and joyous and creative, it's like, and then something comes along, Saturn or Pluto, and transits right in your eye. And then you get like all reactive. It's like, the hell, I thought I healed.
Yeah.
Or I thought I just want this. And then you get challenged, literally, for the same exact thing. It's like, especially when it comes to love, it's like you really cannot tell. I can know what the real love is until I get challenged in it.
Yes, but
But
as you know, the challenge brings you to a deeper place of self-love. And ultimately, that's the emanation that we're wanting to experience.
I'm ready. Bring it on.
I've had
Like,
this
what you got?
concept.
What you got? Huh?
Yeah. So this week, this concept has been coming up, and I saw it in one form intellectually on X or on Twitter.
Mm.
Um, this this woman wrote about pronoia. Have you heard of pronoia?
Paranoia? No.
Pronoia. So paranoia and then
Uh,
pronoia. Essentially, it's like this unhinged belief that everything will always work out. And it's an intellectual framing of this other idea of synchronicity of like, sure, you're being challenged to accept something deeper part of yourself, but like you have this zoomed out view that ultimately I'm learning how to love more deeply, to expand and to appreciate life through this awareness. I'm gaining more awareness for life and love.
but the pronoia is just the belief that it's beautiful. And then when you get challenged, you're in
No,
paranoia.
it's a yeah, it's in the realm of like she's in sales, she deals with businesses, she has like a little bit of a spiritual bent to her, but she her main approach is very left brain. And it's like I could be in the worst times or I could be told no or I could have the difficult experience, but just deciding, it's like it's almost like an
Well,
active role of it, like deciding like this is still going to work out to my benefit. Or even deciding it's like you start to see how you can make it work out for your benefit. Yeah.
and are you saying this is just a radical determination?
Yeah, I saw it came up this week in that space, in that left brain space, and I thought it was synchronistic
Ah, I see.
to this. Yeah.
So the left brain believes in what the right brain has been believing all this time.
Yeah, or it's like it's how do I say
And then it tries to control it. It's gonna work out no matter what.
it? Yeah, it would be so interesting to look at her chart, but she's a very fascinating person. But yeah, it's just like the conscious controlling aspect, and then again the right brain, it's like it's available at any time to access. And I guess pronoia would be just a reminder that in each moment there's a decision that can be made. There's also like I'm just gonna allow like deep allowance, but then for those that aren't there yet, that have to decide something, there's like a decision. Like I can be paranoid, I can be neutral, or I can be pronoid. I don't know what the word is. Pronoia, where it's gonna work out. Let me make it happen. Let me see the gold that's hidden in the coal, whatever, however you want to look at it. So just I appreciate that even in that because I don't go on X anymore, which is so funny because back in April I was like every day, an hour, hour and a half, writing, engaging, commenting. And it just became very self-seeking, self-serving, or I just started to see it that way. And then I'll hop on here every once in a while and see a moment of like, there's a little bit of truth peeking into the realms of fear and illusion. So it's beautiful to witness.
Question. Um, wasn't this supposed to be an easy key? Why did we have such a hard time? Do you feel we had such a hard time with this?
Uh,
And
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
in
It's like because it
ignorance, I'm
wrapped,
gonna say we, not me.
yeah, it wrapped us a little bit. I think what I imagined after I read it was like you and I are gonna get on and we're like just about feeling right, and then we just sit here and just like, ooh, like nothing to say.
Ah,
But I think we find our way. You and I, we like to dance with logic and with words and with ideas and with stories. We like to dance. And part of the dance, part of a great dance, a great story, a great poem is touching on the confusion, touching on the misunderstanding, touching on the pain, the struggle, and then
mm,
coming out again, and then having this play, right? So if we talked about it, like getting on and just holding space for the frequency. I think there's a time and place, but as long as we have this right in front of our faces and we have all of this text to work through and looking at your chart and my chart, it's like we're gonna talk. It's gonna happen.
we're gonna talk and we're gonna say nothing in the end. Yeah, I find this was such a, and I don't know, is it the energy or the frequency around? Who knows, right? So is it outside? Is it inside? Is it you? Is it this space? It's like I found it very like uneasy for me. Like I was
Yeah,
like almost like have a disturbance. And I think because I was disturbed by some sort of like that I kind of wanted to control it more. And that's why I was laughing earlier, not in what you were saying, rather than, oh my God, I'm so funny. I feel funny. And it was almost like I couldn't relax into it. And I found it very interesting. So,
from the viewpoint of the elements, where do you place it?
what elements for astrology?
Yeah, fire, water, air, earth, ether.
Earth. Earth. Um,
What is
because it's too
Virgo?
rigid,
Yeah,
right? It's like this like shadow, almost like it's too structured. And I was trying to, I think
you don't have a ton of earth.
yeah. Huh?
You don't
I
have a
don't.
ton of earth. Yeah.
I have, yeah. But it was like this rigidity, I think, kind of triggered me a lot. It's like, oh, almost like the rigidness of like putting magic into
Mm,
a bottle that turns toxic. And I really struggled with this, which was so interesting because it's not heavy, it's easy and light key.
mm.
But we got so serious. I got so serious. I got so serious about it. Damn, that is funny.
Well,
Too funny.
we can bring it back to
I wonder
Capricorn,
what
Neptune,
is
or
this sign? Let's
oh yeah,
see.
you're true note Taurus. Okay, there's a little bit.
Gene
This is
Keeper.
Virgo.
Exact. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I knew it. Ugh. It's total opposite from the Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
It's too constricting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. This literally, now I feel much better because it makes so much sense. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Ugh.
Luca is Virgo. and he has this in his sphere of intellect. So he'll be,
Oh, proving you wrong left and right, sir.
yeah, he'll be working with it 14 to 21.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, this makes so much sense. Okay.
Oh, okay, real quick. We can't leave this because this was too good. Orgasmic inner world, but also this had me like, oh, I was imagining it. Let me find it.
Are we still on the same? Oh, liquid
Yes,
wine of
the
ecstasy.
city. Hmm. I can't. Oh, yeah. One day, very soon, entire communities around the world will experience group awakenings in this orgasmic way, uh, which is like he calls it like ecstasy also comes in waves and orgasms that travel through the noosphere or universal quantum field in which we live. The orgasmic energy will actually pass like a wave through the fractal lines of humanity. Oh, so the this last week we're at the dance and we got out tons of energy, and then it was very meditative. Um, and it was either that week or the week before. And you people would start to um, bring sound to the feeling of delight. So there's starting to be like deep sighs, and then there's like this. I'm like, we could take this pretty far. A room of like 200 people, and we could if one person does it, more people feel comfortable. I'm like, pretty soon this is gonna be the mind starts to step in, and it's like, okay, don't do too much now because you're mixing energy that usually you keep private. And that's how it felt. It was like, but when I read this, I'm like, oh, I can imagine being in a space with a group of people and then everyone's just like having this like wave of ecstasy pass through. You imagine like a baseball stadium where they do the wave, just uh just it's just cool to imagine. And it brings me to like I have nothing to say. I become stupid.
But did you test yourself in sound expressions?
Yeah, I sighed and I was feeling ecstatic in the moment, but I'm like I was aware that this could go up another octave if if because there's still dense energy. There's still people that are like, oh, I'm not gonna share that part of myself. I'm not gonna do
Mm,
that. Like I don't feel
mm,
comfortable. It's like, okay, it's you're more than welcome to decide when and where and how. But this is like it'll be, maybe this preparation is like us shedding that layer and feeling more safe in community. Um, who knows? We don't
mm.
know.
Have you ever tried to do this in your own private space? Just you and you.
Um, what do you mean?
To express the sound of inner orgasmic ecstasy.
Hmm.
Like you drive
No,
a
I don't think
car.
so. No.
So with this is only done with the partner in an intimacy, and that only if you feel safe, right? And free to be so naked. But most of the time we don't do that either with
Yeah.
our partners. It is very conditioned to be closed and contracted.
Yeah.
So to practice this, you can do it when you self-pleasure or to voice the pleasures, the inner orgasmic world of like just like how does bliss feels and sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why I say have you ever practiced? Because of course, there's walls behind, there's somebody living back and left. You can't, kids are
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't do so many things. But when you're in your car, that's why I think car is such a sacred space.
Hmm.
See if you can. And you know why I say not only in the ecstatic inner orgasmic world, how he explains it, but you actually find your sound
Right. Hmm.
out of which you can sing.
The
Uh,
frequency of your heart, of your bliss.
yes. And I'm not good in singing Aerosmith, but I am good with Lady Gaga song. No, no, it's true. And the difference is I come Aerosmith, I perform from my
Yeah.
throat,
Yeah.
and Lady Gaga tunes into my energy and my and or Brandy Curly, it's literally comes
Mhm.
out from, and I'm like, I sound so different.
Yeah.
Like I can hear the sound is so much smoother because
Hmm.
it's coming from a depth of me, something in that actually. So all I say this is like, how is the inner orgasmic way actually sounding? And if I feel and practice this in my own private chambers, can I practice this with partner and with the world,
Yeah.
regardless?
Yeah.
And most of the time we don't because we're afraid to even hear it. We don't. It's a shame. It's like, you got to
Hmm.
perform. That's why we don't
Yeah.
know how to sing. I do think that we're all
Right.
singers.
Yeah. And I think the great singers are great
Shameless.
masturbators.
I mean, possibly.
Yeah. I think there's a correlation there of like, especially for women, like this expression from here, so related to the genitalia and how open you can be and how much you can access. Little do I know about that. But when I was working with Dunya, we typically go in like pain in the body and then transmuting it. And we were doing that as a held practice of like facilitator and experiencer. And I was in the car in the parking lot in front of the gym at like 4:30 in the morning or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I can just let go and like whatever. If people walk by, like whatever, they're gonna
Hmm.
judge me, whatever. I was able to let go quite a bit, and it was quite ecstatic. It was really, really powerful for me to experience. And on the other side of it, like I had the intellectual awareness of what occurred, but then there was still this like, so Dunya, are we like, what, what does this make us now? There's still like this old patterning of like, you don't share that with everybody. And now what does it mean about the relationship itself?
Mm.
And it took me a minute to kind of like let go of that story that you carry with you. And um, I think maybe that part is too the preparation for it to happen in the community. We have to let go of what we typically make it mean. Um, and
Totally.
I know that there's spaces of women that are doing this more regularly, like practicing it, which is so helpful to establish safety. And I think the men of the world, us men that are going to be part of this community, have to, like what I experienced was detachment, understanding, a willingness to hold space and not attach meaning to it or attach um, fantasy because
Hmm.
it's like
That's what I was about to say.
yeah, it's like you attach the fantasy to it and make it
But
mean
what you,
something that's not real.
exactly. So what you're saying is that what you experienced while voicing your sensations and your desires, you experienced arousal in many ways that you
Hmm.
question because to that arousal you have a story attached to already. It's a programming, right?
Right.
So why is it I do this at the gym all the time and I was like, it's hard. And when it's hard and I lift hard, I go, oh. So why
Yeah.
is it hard? Why is it wrong for me to say, oh? Right? It's like no woman does it whatsoever. Here and there, men does it. I do it because I want to express it. I'm an outlier. Weird, like it's like in many ways very uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Even men nowadays, it's pretty rare.
but you see the programming, it's almost like
Yeah.
this condition of not being expressive in the voice and not turning this vagus nerve to release the tension in
Yeah.
the nervous system. It's like, but like it's you can have you can feel the arrows in your body, and that arrows then gives you an option to reflect on what your story is about it.
Right.
What is it? Is it just a life force or is it just attraction? What story and meaning do you give to the wave that passes through your body and versus react to it? So there's, like I'm going to just reflect many times. Two bodies will activate on energetic level many times, but really that's just activation of the body. What am I giving it as a story? And
Hmm.
that I think that's where we kind of have to deprogram this way
Yeah.
of belief and put a different narrative to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there. And, you know, I think moving out of the Capricorn age is it's
I
part of the experience into Aquarius.
I also think that you guys, males, people with the male genitals that identify as males and masculine, are having a more tougher time than females because it's very hard. We almost have so many routes and places to go and tune in that we are naturally
Hmm.
tuned into, and our nervous system is more complex than yours, especially from these centers. So it's like it's easier for us to come in and find the answer and find it and feel it. A lot of males cannot do that. It's very head and the general. That's it. You're skipping the whole thing, the creative, the whole system of it. And it's just, I hear it all the time. A lot of women are actually speaking aloud about this. It's like, by this time, I'm waiting for you to catch up with me, but you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
And you're like, figure it out. Like, my time is running out.
Yeah.
I am already there. You have to catch. And that just is sad to me. It's like, yes, I don't deal with males, but at the same time, it's like, you can't. Like, what can you do? In many ways, you're really lacking.
Yeah. Yeah. This brings up a lot for me. Um, on the one end, like being Pisces sun and having Pisces and Venus, like I'm doing pretty good. I have more
Yes.
capacity for it. And then I'm pretty aware, like recent past, like if past lives are even real. I don't know if that's a mental construct, but it seems like recent past lives or most of my past lives have been women to some degree. Like I
You?
just, yeah, I
Oh,
have, hi.
hi. Wow.
Um, and I tend to be more emotional than rigid. I tend to not relate as well to men. I tend to enjoy talking to women more. Um, and not from a desire standpoint, just from like,
I love it.
yeah, I just get along better. Um, and even still in physicality in my body, I'm like, there's still this programming of rigidity of how I'm supposed to look, how I'm supposed to walk, how I'm supposed to talk, the things I'm supposed to say. And there's a longer list of things that you cannot do as a man.
Hmm.
You can't look that way. You can't dance that way. You can't sing that way. You can't talk that way.
Hmm.
It's like, and it's even for me, I'm like in a wonderful place where men dance like women. And I'm like, when I see it now, I'm so appreciative because I'm like, thank you for opening up not only your own door to something that you're just playing, but also like you're opening up doors for women to be to see it from a different angle and then for other men. And I'm like, ultimately, you're just in your expression, however you want to be at that moment. It doesn't matter. And we attach so many labels to things that we as men, when we see something like a man dancing like a woman, which is like you're more feminine, you're flowing, or you're twirling more, you're spinning, whatever it is, and we attach labels to it that come from a place of like constriction, judgment, fear. Ultimately, it's fear, right? So when you're in fear and then you're not in love. So Yeah, it's just bringing up a lot for me because I think it does seem like there's more hurdles to get over as men to get to this place, where in community you could be a receiver of that wave. You would need to attune your frequency to such a higher level.
Yeah. Well, we're opening up a box, a
I
full
know.
box of things. Can I just add one more thing too? I'm hearing more and more that women are more afraid of men.
Yeah, seeing
They're
that too.
scared.
Well, I think it's been, and you can tell me, but
But
I'm not speaking for you. But it seems like it's always been that way, but they're now voicing it. They're like sharing, like, this is
yes,
how we feel.
yes. And it's also it's another way of programming too. However, because we can feel a lot of things in our body too, I think it's very easy to tune into it. And can I just notice the difference when we process these voices and internalize things? We actually stay in our own bubble. We don't go to you. The difference between a male body processing is like you feel you need to go to someplace else. And this feeling is very, where are you going? Like, leave me alone, right? It's almost like I want to cycle this energy inside of me as I am this power of self. And I don't need you to enhance it because the closer you come, not only past my boundary, physical, emotional, and everything, it's like I am dealing with my own self. Males need another woman to deal with their selves. So I think it's becoming very clear that we're processing a lot of things without the need to have someone come into our field, rather than this connection of I need to hold on to something, which is very left-handed in the male body. I need you to turn me on. I need you to trigger me. I need you to reflect something inside of me. Am I right or wrong?
It's so interesting. I think I um I have intuition that to be able to dance in feminine way, to be able to access emotions in a feminine way, and to not do it like unhealthily, like big pushover and not have it be attached to your masculinity, like to reject it completely, but to just play in it, access it, and then leave it, and then go back to neutrality or experience a different neutrality. But to just like, how am I putting this?
Try to be serious about it.
Yeah, it's just like when I see, and I tend I figured this out just from going to festival and then through ecstatic dance. Like you, over time, you start to shed layers of like, how am I supposed to dance and what am I familiar with, what feels good. And you go more and more into what feels good, like what feels good to do. My dance is a little bit more um, feminine. It's just a little bit more, just like, and where I feel like my friends from back home would see me and they'd be like, well, what's going on? Like, you okay? You know, that sort of thing. Um, but when I go to the dance here, I see men that are like, I'm like, if you put a wig on, I wouldn't know because the way you're dancing, like you're just like 100%, you're able to play so fully in that feminine energy. And I kind of lost where I was going or what you said.
Mm. Do you need the other in order to activate your eros
Yes.
or life force
Yes.
vitality? Both energies
So
in
I,
play.
so I feel like what's happening is like we as men are now able to access it without the other through that
Great.
play. And I'm like, that's what I'm like delighted to see now is I'm like, oh my God, you're now a beacon of your own support. You're not bringing in this energy and potentially causing more trouble in the community. Like, how cool would it be if we could just turn it on when we need it? And then I'm buzzing like crazy. I'm like,
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, stay in your lane. You have your body. You don't need another one.
yeah.
You don't have to conquer anything. It's all here. There's no taking, showing, and territory. You know, the birds. But there, you're not doing it because you feel electrified by life. You're doing it because you want to attract something. And I think I'm glad to hear that this is what you feel. But a lot of female will reject being territorialized again and terrorized by someone coming into their territory. And this is coming on an energetic level. It's like, no, instantaneous wall. It's like, I have my own tempo and my myself to deal with. Deal with
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, and it's what's needed because on some level, like as a man, you have to be given space to figure that out for yourself and to be told no, and to be rejected. That's one
Mm,
way to get there. But like, um, I've like not had the active role in that, like seeking, pursuing. I've been quite passive along those lines. But when I What I've been telling Carly this, I'm like, I really like her dance. And she's like, go ahead, dance with them. I'm like, no, no, no. I don't need to dance with them. I just like when they spin into my field and then we're like near each other, or if I can see her. And usually it's a woman who's like completely in her own energy. She's not showing, she's not presenting, she's not engaging. She's just like there's just some really powerful thing that women can access when they're able to say to themselves, I am totally safe in my expression and I have power within me. I have that masculine side too to protect my space, my energy, my field, whatever that is. But I'm just like,
agree.
man, am I crazy for thinking like we just need to dance our way into 2027?
No. And to find and just stay in your lane and find what what we need for ourselves to feel the life and love and creative and inspiration. I think almost like the sense of evolving,
Yeah.
but stay in your lane, meaning in a physical way. I'll
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah,
what
I
like
totally agree.
not you're only talking the physical safety, sense of safety in the physical, but there's
Yeah, also
psychological,
the
mental,
energetic. Yeah.
emotional.
Mhm. Like the
So I
praying or
think
the desiring or
I
the
also
taking.
think that the fall of our relationships and this like hard cut through
Hmm.
is also the set, also almost like prerequisite for having time to reset on your own in your own sense of your solitude and aloneness to figure out who you are without the other.
Hmm.
And I gotta run.
Yeah, okay. All
Okay, sending you love.
right, much love. Bye.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.